Hello, folks. Welcome to the Vinson Voice, a weekly program where we tell you what's happening here at the Carl Vinson VA Medical Center in beautiful Dublin and Lawrence County, Georgia. I'm your host, Dr. Frank Jordan. And on our first segment today, we got a good friend of mine. This is my boy, Darrin Robinson. So Darrin's one of the success stories here. I've been his mentor and coach for a long time, and I've had the privilege of watching Darrin set goals for himself and just stoop, doom, doom. If you ever wanted a model for how to get what you want out of your career, Darrin's it. Well, Darrin's a peer support specialist now. And it seems like yesterday we were strategizing about, hey, you came to me and said, hey, Doc, I want to be a peer support specialist. I believe in this. I know I can do a good job. And I know you had some doubts at first, a little bit. And I said, man, what you doubting? Somebody's got to do it. Why not you? And then you set a plan and boom, and now you're a peer support specialist. I love it, man. I just love watching it. But Darrin, so what does a peer support specialist do? Now that you're in it, tell us what it's all about.
Well, Frank, a peer support specialist is a person that has similarities to another person, such as myself being a vet and actually having to go through PTSD. It's just me being available to be able to talk to a vet. There's no other person better to talk to for a vet than a vet. And that's the system that we have here in place. And we teach everything from substance abuse to I guess you could say PTSD. Mm-hmm. We have housing availability with HUD-VASH. It's just a variety of peer specialists out here. Suicide prevention, and we're here for the veterans because we're veterans ourselves and we understand.
Yeah, and actually to be a peer support specialist, Darrin, I think you have had to gone through some part of the program, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You have to had some kind of issues where you have been in recovery, or you have knowledge about, certain particular fields, like I said, suicide prevention, and substance abuse. So, I mean, that's really critical.
And what's great about it is, I was a police officer for 21 years, and I found that if I drew from my personal experience, a lot of times I came up kind of rough, had some challenges, and I found that when I reached out to a person who is involved with something, either a emergency or maybe it was a domestic situation or whatever, I found that I could immediately establish rapport with them on that basis. Because I said, look, I've been through this. I'm not experiencing what you're experiencing, but I've experienced similar stuff. And I think that's what I love about the peer support program. It gives you have literally experienced this stuff, and so you can immediately establish rapport with that veteran, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. Me, myself, my personal story, I came through the homeless program, and from the homeless program, I met Frank, and he was one of the immediate guys that, took interest in me, I guess, because I looked like I had potential or that I wanted.
Oh, yeah.
And, I talked to
motivation.
him.
It's all about motivation.
Yes,
I knew the motivation was
yes,
there.
Sir. He pushed me, every now and then. He gave me words of encouragement and just told me to go get it, He said, whatever you want, it's out there for you. It's not going to come to you. You got to go get it.
That's right. I think I may have been chief of police still back then. I don't remember. It's been a while, yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking before the segment. I said, too many people. I've worked a lot of places, and I don't know that I've worked anywhere really where there was so much opportunity like there is at the VA.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's engineered for veterans and people who support veterans. I mean, it's just a beautiful opportunity. But I tell people it's not going to, you can end up buried in that same spot you standing there waiting on something good to happen to you.
Yes,
You got to reach out and grab it. You got to have a plan. And we talked about motivation, and you had that huge advantage because you knew what you wanted. You had seen it. You knew you could do a good job at it, and then it was just put that plan together. Got that certification. I remember when we were talking about that.
It was hard.
Yeah, it was hard. And I said, but you know what? That's what makes it worth having. It's hard. Not everybody gets it because everybody doesn't put into it what you put into it. So has it been everything you hoped it would be so far?
It has. It's great dealing with veterans on a veteran basis because I tell you, they can understand me. There's no better way to get with somebody who has low crawl, who has had to throw grenades and go through that, gas chamber.
That's right.
That's right. So when you share similes like that, and you're able to talk about it and understand it, then you can begin to be strategic in helping the person in their needs, and they're more apt to listen to you.
Yeah.
I mean, and that was coming from me as a veteran as well when I first started at this facility.
Yeah, and a lot of times when you get somebody, especially when they're upset or they're directionless and they don't really know what to do and they're just lashing out, And they might say, well, you don't know what I've been through. Well, guess what?
Yes, I do.
You know what they've been through.
Yes,
and that's why I tell us it's easy to set that report. And really, as a peer support specialist, now you are in the coaching role.
Right.
Yeah, you've learned. Yeah, you learned.
I learned from the best. To be honest, I mean, I tell you, it's a great reward just to see veterans, you know what I'm saying, how they respond to us peers. I know that I tell a lot of the veterans, you know, my story from coming from the homeless program, you know, also being a housekeeper, then I moved to mailroom, then I moved to the actual domiciliary. And with those, like you said, it's key into the VA system is that you take, you know what I'm saying, advantage of the opportunities and use them for your advantage. And, you know, like I said, I saw direction. Doc, he helped me, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, he'll push me every now and then. I know sometimes I was stubborn, but he always told me the right
he
things
knew we had a no BS zone in my office. You're not going, you're not bringing that in here now.
He's not taking no.
If you want to quit, just be honest and say you want to quit, but don't bring that BS
He's
in
not
my
taking no
office.
negativity, and that's what we need, and that's due to great leadership, and we have great leadership here. I want to also just acknowledge some of the other leaders that have been you know, who have been avid in pushing me and motivating me. People like Yvette Yeager, Diane Webb, they've been instrumental, you know, and a lot of the peers, Heather, Jeffrey Jones, Anthony Brown, all those guys have pushed me.
Bubba used to work, Anthony Brown used to work for me in the police department. Great guy. Yeah.
So with the leadership here, I can say, plus this guy right here, hey, he no bar now. He pushed me a lot of times. A lot of times I wanted to, but he wouldn't let me. He wouldn't allow me. And like I said, that's just come from great leadership here at the VA, and that's what we need. And pushing up the other people so they can become great leaders as well.
And that's what I tell people, Darrin. I said, you know, number one, you don't have to save the world. Nobody's asked you to save the world. You can affect one human being. I would not be here myself and experience the success in life I have if I hadn't had a few key people along the way who told me, hey, you can do it. Don't make excuses. You can do it, and that's leadership too. You don't know where your influence ends truly, and so don't try to save the world. Try to help one person, and then encourage them. And you're creating little leaders who didn't go out and help other people. And if we all did that, if we could get that critical threshold in the world, we could change the world. So, but it starts with each individual. And I got to tell you, man, I'm proud of you, and you do great stuff. I have watched you go, and the sky's the limit. And I use you as an example. Like, look, you cannot claim to have been through what Darrin's been through. And I won't even get into details about some of it, but you have been through it all, and you have emerged on the other end successful. That was no accident. And so that's why I love coaching and mentoring and trying to encourage people to be the best they can be. So folks out there, like I said, I used to tell Darrin, don't let the grass grow under your feet now. Don't get too comfortable, because when you get too comfortable, complacency's right behind it. Don't do that. Go for what you want, have a plan, realize there's going to be missteps and obstacles along the way. You're going to have to reset a little bit sometimes, redirect, but you'll get there if you keep pushing. And then don't be afraid to be honest with yourself and say, hey, maybe there's a different goal now. I've done that myself. Just don't ever not get something you want because you're afraid. Don't let fear rule your life. Trust me. If other folks can do it, you can do it. And this man right here, Darrin Robinson, is a classic example of that. So Darrin, congratulations, peer support specialist Darrin Robinson. We're just so proud of you. And folks, we'll be right back with more Vinson Voice.
Hi, I'm Kyle Gerard with A+ Flooring and Construction. We're in our showroom, and I want to show you some of the new products that we have. We have a complete line of ceramic tile from Premier Tile. We also have the new Chesapeake LVP display, as well as a lot of our shawl carpet displays. We'd love for you to come down and shop with us here at A+ Flooring and Construction. A couple new things that we have a brand new complete line of cabinets. We also have our new metal roof distributor for metal roofs here in town, as well as shingle roofs. We can supply all your needs at A+ Flooring and Construction. So come see us at 371 Georgia Highway 338, or give us a call at 478-676-2662.
Call Mr. Appliance for a speedy expert service. Or your appliance is not performing correctly, call 309-5960. Mr. Appliance of Dublin is your go-to company for dependable quality appliance service. Our experts are committed to delivering exceptional results in a timely manner, whether you need repairs, replacement parts, or general maintenance. Technicians are available on your schedule and always provide courteous, respectful, and quality work every time. Our technicians always explain and ensure understanding so you'll never encounter surprise fees. Trust Mr. Appliance for residential and commercial repair, service, and maintenance. Call 309-5960. That's 309-5960. 309-5960. Serving Dublin and the surrounding area. Mr. Appliance and Speedy Expert Service, a locally owned and operated franchise.
Hello folks, welcome back to the Vinson Voice. Now in this next segment, I always like to do a whole health segment on the Vinson Voice. And I'll tell you why, because whole health, that is health. I mean, even like I said before on the show many times, even though we're approaching it here at Carl Vinson, we've got a whole service line for whole health. It's a philosophy we're promoting, but it's really the way you should do healthcare anyway. You know, if we'd been more enlightened decades and hundreds of years ago, you wouldn't even know about whole health, because it'd just be the way we do healthcare. But we don't take anything for chance here at Carl Vinson, so we got good folks in our whole health service line to do it. And with us today, we got Miss Tina Jones.
Hello.
Tina's going to tell us a little about Tina. What are we going to talk about now? One of the things I do want to hit on before the show's over, you know, we got the New Year coming up.
Okay.
And that's a good time for people to set goals. And, you know, there's a myth. I did some research, you know. They said that, New Year's resolutions don't work. It turns out, actually, New Year's is a good time to set a goal.
Right.
They don't work a lot of times because we don't set up our goals properly.
Right.
But, you know, if you establish that SMART goal and you write it down and you make public declarations, hey, say, Tina, I'm going to lose 20 pounds this year.
Okay.
See, now I'm on the spot. So, but tell me about whole health. What do you like about number one? Why are you in whole health?
Basically, whole health, it gives us a little bit more opportunity to get a little bit closer, a little bit more intimate with our veterans.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Making sure that we talk to them. Sometimes we talk to them on a one-to-one basis.
Right.
We do virtual, where some of our veterans are more comfortable talking amongst their own peers. They get in those groups and they just like the camaraderie where they are actually able to say, hey, this right here works for me and that works for me, and it helps them out. So basically, when we're doing these groups, most of the time the veterans run the group.
Yeah.
They talk about what helps them, and it helps the other veterans to help themselves. So basically what we do is we just put the information out there for them. We invite them, more or less, more trying to get them to be empowered, to take control of their own health. It's not where we say, you got to take this medicine or you got to do this.
Right.
But it's more like, okay, so tell me what matters most to you. And it's all about what matters most to them. You know, most of the times, you know, the doctor says this works better for you, but in this field, we ask what matters most to you.
Right.
And that's what we base everything on. Once we empower them, we equip them by, you know, offering the groups and the different disciplines that we have. We offer yoga, we offer like health groups, where the veterans, like I said, they sit amongst themselves. If they are doing hypertensive groups, they talk about what helps them with hypertension, what helps them with nutrition. We send out the information to them prior to their group, and then they read over it. And then as we go virtual, you know, they begin to talk about what helps them most and what matters most to them.
Yeah, and you know, we talked, Tina, on the show, we talked a lot about that kind of stuff, the empowerment and them taking charge, because we know that a patient or a veteran is not going to do, they're going to do what they want to do.
Right.
Our job is to coach them and encourage them. But one of the things you hit on that we hadn't talked a lot about on the show, like that you brought it up, was the really personal connection you get to them. I often don't think of it from the staff's perspective, but I wondered why would you like to get into whole health? And I've heard, it's a better way to give healthcare, stuff like that. But I know healthcare people, especially medical folks, they really do like to make a personal connection
Right.
with the veteran, and it turns out that actually has greater healthcare outcomes when the veteran or the patient feels like they're in a relationship with this person that's caring for them, or trying to, they're more likely to do it, because you don't want to disappoint your friends.
Right.
So if your LPN or your RN or your health coach is your friend, you're less likely, you're more likely to want to engage. That's an interesting perspective I hadn't thought a lot about. But the other thing, so now your background is, I know it's medical. You're LPN, RN?
LPN for right now.
Yeah, what does that mean? What are we talking about?
I'm actually in a program now to get my RN.
Rock on,
license.
there we go,
So
that's it.
We're working towards that. In my background, I've done substance abuse. I worked in other areas here at the VA, CLCs. I've done wheelchair games, which
Right,
I
that's
really
right.
love.
I know you do.
Yeah, so
You and producer Greg Swartz, he
Yeah.
loves that stuff too.
well, I took some pictures, So we work together. I
Yeah.
love photography, and I just
Oh, that's
love it
good,
because
that's good.
once I make a call to a veteran, it makes me feel really well when the veteran says, "Thank you so much."
That's right.
It feels good that y'all reach back out to
That's right.
to check up on me. So that makes you feel better, even when they say. I had acupressure done, and the nurse was really patient with me.
Right,
They
right.
did this and they did that, and give that feedback to Dr. Geyer or
Yeah.
Rosa,
That's right.
Rosie. So it just makes me feel good to know that I'm a part of that type of team. So
That's, and I tell people, I spend a lot of time, as you know, Tina, trying to keep people here at Carl Vinson motivated to understand how important it is what y'all do. And, especially in a large organization, when I started here in 2003, we had 747 employees. Now we got 1,900 and growing.
Wow.
And it gets harder, as the organization gets bigger, it gets harder to remind everybody, hey, what you do is important. Because after a while, there's a temptation. You got 50,000 veterans, there's a temptation to kind of feel like you're processing widgets instead of dealing with America's heroes. So I tell them, no, what you do makes a difference. And I think that's one of the cool things about Whole Health. We get a lot of positive feedback on you guys. And I know I got an email this morning from a lady who took the time to send us an email and say, hey, my stepdad was here, and here's all the people that were integral to his care, and y'all treat us with so much respect and kindness, and they deserve that. I mean, we should do it, but it is nice to be able to tell the staff that, hey, what you do matters, and here's evidence of that. And yeah, you Whole Health folks get that all the time. So.
Yeah.
That's cool, and you got so much to offer, drum circles and labyrinth, and you do personal health plans and personal health inventories, and it's not accidental like that, it's a process, yeah.
It is, and it's based on what the veterans like.
That's right.
If they want to do yoga, that's totally up to them.
That's right.
We tell them, sometimes you could just walk in. If you want to get in the massage chair, just walk up to Whole Health and 2B, and just tell us you want to get in the massage chair.
People like to take control. They want to control their lives.
So that's their control, and we offer it.
That's right. I like to point out smoking, because I quit smoking when I was 19. I was a 3-pack a day Marlboro smoker, and if I'd have kept on, I'd be dead as a doornail. I'm telling you. But there wasn't a power on earth could make me quit smoking except me. And at just some point, I had the motivation popped up. So now, but what's cool about Whole Health is you guys prepare that environment, and that's what I realized. Even when I was that young, that the environment somehow had changed that made me want to do it. And rather than it being accidental like it was for me, you guys actually create that supportive environment where when they realize they're not on their own and there's somebody there to help them, or whatever the need is, hey, y'all are going to be there, and you're not going anywhere. It's a relationship.
Yeah, the group that we have for tobacco cessation, the veterans, they like I say, they talk amongst themselves.
They get to be friends.
This helps me, or this got me through, or
that's right.
The suggestion that you made about quitting smoking, chewing the gum, finding other things to do, so that waiting a little bit longer to smoke. Whereas you normally get up at 30 minutes.
I did that.
And you wait a little bit longer.
I'd say, because I put that cigarette in my mouth before my feet hit the floor in high school now. And I said, that's how I started. I said, well, wait a minute. Well, let's wait an hour. Yeah. Wait 1 hour. You can do an hour. And it's baby stuff. Yeah, but a lot of healthcare is like that, though. Just do a little now, small steps. Right. One brick in that wall at a time.
And that's what we do.
Tina, y'all do wonderful work. That's why I tell people I'm going to have at least one segment on the show every week, because what y'all do is so fantastic. And we appreciate you being here, and you get that RN now. And when you get it, you know who to tell.
Oh, yeah.
So we can celebrate with you. That's
All
right. Folks, and whole health is available to everyone. You don't have to be a veteran, you don't have to be a family member. Just Google or do an internet search for whole health, Veterans Affairs. We got a ton of information out there. Everybody can use it. So get out there and see what we got. And we'll be right back with some more Vinson Voice.
Hi, I'm Tom Domney, W. Nelson Company. We're a full-service wholesaler specializing in plumbing, irrigation, and industrial products. We are committed to building long-term relationships with our customers by earning your business every day. With a staff that collectively offers more than 50 years of expertise, our team knows your industry. We're able to answer your questions and are ready to help you get the parts and equipment you need. At W. Nelson, our goal is long-term success of your business. We achieve that goal with a simple commitment, doing things right, one customer at a time. Our showroom is complete with the latest styles and fixtures. Stop by and see us at 507 Airport Road or give us a call at 478-272-3585. That's W. Nelson.
Folks are coming from all over to enjoy the country cooking at Minner General Store. Start your day off right with fresh cooked breakfast, including grits, bacon, eggs, sausage, and homemade biscuits. Lunchtime, stop in for delicious fried chicken, pork chops, and all your favorite meats and vegetables. Look for our specials, including hamburger steak. We also have all your feed, seed, and beverage needs. See why folks are driving from all over to enjoy the food at Minner General Store.
Hello folks, welcome back to the Vinson Voice. Now we like to demonstrate here at Carl Vinson a little bit of everything we do. It's like a small city, and so we have, and in years past, I mean, we were isolated out here because what a lot of people don't know is they broke ground on this place in 43 and started as a Navy hospital in 45. And back then, this was the only thing out here. It was a lot of woods and fields, and then town was a good bit away. So we even had bowling alleys and swimming pools, and we showed movies for our veterans. Well, over the years, some of that has gone away, but it's still like a small city. I mean, we just got a lot of stuff going on. And one of the things we do here, especially as a federal entity, we pay a lot of attention to our EEO and diversity needs, don't we?
Yes, we do.
All right. So today we got one of our EEO specialists, Ms. Marcia Morris, with us. Marcia, welcome.
Thank you.
And Marcia, you've only been here a couple of weeks so far, right?
I've been here since December 5th.
Yeah, so pushing a month. Okay, seems like yesterday. Marcia, tell us a little bit about you first. Where are you coming from? What's your background?
Well, first of all, I'm coming from Philadelphia originally. I was born and raised in Philadelphia. And I migrated to the VAMC in Lebanon, PA.
Oh, I've been there. It's beautiful.
That was actually my first government job. I came in as a clerk and worked my way up. And then the next thing you know, I was a program support assistant.
There you go.
In accounts management. Then I switched to revenue utilization review, where I work with nurses.
Yeah.
And then I saw something interesting out there that kind of caught my eye. And I noticed that there wasn't a lot of diversity there. Mm-hmm. So it kind of piqued my interest. And
why is that? Why is it happening?
Yeah. Why is it happening? Why is this? What can we do to change it?
That's right.
So there was an opportunity for me to get into equal employment opportunity and at the Department of Labor in Philadelphia. So I made my way back home, and I was with the Mid-Atlantic Regional Office. I started as an equal employment opportunity assistant.
There you go.
For about 5 years.
Okay.
And then I traveled.
That was a good position to really learn about that.
Oh my goodness, yes. Yeah. I learned so much. I met so many incredible people.
Right.
Then I made my way to Columbia. Okay. And then here.
South Carolina?
South Carolina.
Yeah. Now, are you a veteran?
I am. I am a disabled veteran.
Army veteran?
Air Force.
Air Force veteran, that's right.
Yes.
I knew you were a veteran. I couldn't remember.
Go Air Force.
Yeah, I love being in the Navy, but I always tell people, if you really, Air Force took care of their folks so well. They just had the best of everything. That's great. So one of the things in your background there you were talking about, I really enjoyed hearing about, because I love this. I tell people, you can come to the VA with minimal skills, lowest level you can imagine, and you can run this joint. I mean, you can develop the skill. I mean, because I did it, and I've seen a lot of other people do it. I had the pleasure of meeting one of our undersecretaries for something a few years back, and he had started part-time in housekeeping, and but it's great to hear people working their way up, not just because it represents opportunity in federal government, the VA, but because it shows how you're building that knowledge base, you know. That's why I said when you're an EO assistant, I tell secretaries and administrative officers, I say, y'all don't understand. Y'all are in the best position in the world to learn about stuff. I mean, because everything comes across your desk, and if you just pay attention. But that's fantastic. I love to hear people taking charge of their career and really building up. So how do you end up in Dublin? I mean, you've been around, started in Philly, went all around. How you end up in Dublin, Georgia?
Well, it's quite interesting because I thought that Columbia was going to be my home.
Oh, yeah.
And I started getting restless. I said, okay, I have work to do.
Yeah.
This is not it. You know, you just get that feeling and you know that that's not where you should be.
Yeah.
And so I applied for a position here. I saw an opening and I said, hey, I've never lived in Georgia before.
Okay.
Let's try Georgia. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't realize that it was as small as it was.
Oh, okay. Most
'Cause
people
I'm
don't.
used to a big
One of the
city.
best kept secrets in the world.
Yes,
Dublin,
it
Georgia,
is.
Lawrence County. I'm
Very
telling
peaceful, very quiet.
right.
I love it. I love where I live.
Right.
The community is very welcoming.
you. Very hospitable folk.
Yes.
Yep, helpful.
And that's how I got here.
That's
They had an
fantastic.
opening.
I tell people Dublin and Lawrence County is one of the Middle Georgia generally, but I have a preference for Dublin and Lawrence County. One of the best kept secrets in the world because it's nicely situated because you can enjoy all the advantages of small town life and that welcoming, hospitable, and supportive community. And you don't have a lot of crime. You got good schools, blah blah blah. But if you want to go to the big town, Atlanta's just up the highway on the interstate. Savannah's the other direction. It's quick trips, so you can have the best of both worlds, really. Yeah. Yeah. I tell you, one of the things, Marcia, a lot of people from bigger towns comment on when they get here is the traffic. They're used to driving an hour and a half to get to work sometimes, and then they get in the car and it's 5 minutes to the job. They love that stuff. So yeah, so we're glad to have you, Marcia. You're thinking right now you're gonna be staying here?
Well, for right now, this is home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you
and
go.
I'm one of those people. I live 4 minutes away. So,
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah,
That's
so
cool.
that's a blessing. But yes, I met some really incredible people here, and I'm really excited about jumping in.
Yeah, there you go.
And just get some things off to the ground.
Yeah, and I always tell people I'm very vocal about my support of our EO program, our unions, and I tell people, unfortunately, too many people take a negative view of that kind of stuff, and they're missing the point. There was a time in this country, late 19th, early 20th century, when workers did not have rights that they were really taken advantage of. So, we need these processes, and it's the right thing to do, and it's good for us. When we build our diversity, I promise you, your organization is going to benefit, and you're going to benefit personally because you get those diverse perspectives coming in. You build that cohesive community. Everybody, humans have a natural tendency to become teams, but everybody's got to know that they're included in the conversation and on the team. So what you do is just critical, and we appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much.
And you're by yourself right now because we don't have an EO manager right now.
That is correct.
Okay. But they're
Yeah.
working on it.
They're working on it, but I've been able to jump right in.
There you go. That's what you do. I tell, hey, don't be shy. The best way to learn is get in there and mix it up.
Yes.
Like boxing, wrestling, you get in there and mix it up, and you learn, and those lessons stay with you. So, Marcia, we're glad to have you here. And if you need anything, you know where I am.
Well, thank you.
And
very
especially if you need any advice on football, like how the Cowboys can continue to dominate teams like the Redskins or something, just reach out to producer Greg Swartz. He has a lot of knowledge about that. So
I
he'll
will
help you
do.
out.
I will
He's going to
do.
beat me after this thing.
Go Cowboys.
There you go. Yeah, Cowboy, that's right. All right, folks, we appreciate you. We're going to be right back with more Vinson Voice.
First Lawrence Bank invites you to experience banking at its best. Whether you have personal or business needs, we're a full-service bank big enough to handle all of your banking needs and small enough to provide you with that personal touch you've grown to expect from a community bank like First Lawrence Bank. Looking forward to your future. That's First Lawrence Bank in Dublin and Dexter, member FDIC.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Vinson Voice. We always like to close the show out by highlighting a few things. Number one right now is the PACT Act. Now, the PACT Act is a brilliant new legislation our Congress passed to help veterans with toxic exposures. It's really going to open up benefits for a lot of veterans. So we want you to help us spread the word on that, because the more veterans we can reach, the more veterans are going to get those benefits they deserve. So it's a patriotic act. Well, here's an easy way to do all that. Get on our Facebook page, search Dublin VA Medical Center, like our page, and then share what you see. The cool thing about our Facebook is that we put everything going on in the VA out there. If we have an event here at Carl Vinson, it's going to go on there. So it's just such an easy source for you to quickly get what's going on at Carl Vinson VA Medical Center and around the VA. So go on our Facebook page, share what you see, like that page, and we appreciate it. Again, we think of it as a patriotic act because every American, we feel, has a responsibility to help get this good information out to those veterans so they can get the care they deserve. And also we want to say thank you to TV35 for giving us this half hour every week. Can't thank them enough. It's just an outstanding way for us to communicate with our community. And thank you for watching, and we hope you're going to tune in every week. And don't forget, if you miss an episode, don't worry about it. They go on YouTube. Just search YouTube Vinson Voice, and you can pull up episodes from when we started back in 2015 or 16, wherever we started this thing. It's fantastic. And also, I always want to say thank you to my producer, Greg Swartz, for his fantastic work on the show. He puts a lot of energy into it. He's like a brother to me, and we've been together a long time. So, Gregory, I know you're behind the camera, but I want everybody out in the world to hear thank you for what you do. And until next week's, folks, I'm Dr. Frank Jordan. We'll see you then.